because we got tired of hauling things like jellyfish and onyx and chickens around. Good. So we use currency. We assign a value to something, whether it's a dollar bill, although nowadays the dollar bill used to be, back before you guys were born, based on something else besides the cloth it's printed on. Gold standard, then the silver standard, right? I forget who put us off the gold on the silver. I think Nixon did it with the whole thing eventually.
Well, Nixon wiped us all out, took us off of
any currency, just the money was its own standard, right? So he got rid of silver. Yes, that would have been. He got rid of silver, but before him, somebody got rid of gold and pushed it to silver. Carter? I'm learning history here. I didn't know that. That's okay. At some point it was based on currency, now it's based on cloth. That's actually not even what I'm worried about right now. What else are coins used for?
Determining initial possession in a football game.
A football game! Flip a coin! Even the World Cup, watching football this summer. They have big custom coins made for that. Cool. Heads, tails, right? Why do we use coins to determine initial possession in a football game or soccer?
It's a fair 50-50 flip.
It seems like a fair 50-50 flip. Believe it or not, it seems like a fair 50-50 flip. Everybody, if you would, grab your penny right now. Flip it in the air. Or on the desk. There you go. If they hit the floor, that's totally fine too. The trick is let it spin in the air, and then interrupt the spin, either by grabbing it or letting it fall. Some way it gets interrupted, right? Okay, we've got roughly, I'm going to call this 30 people in the room, because it's about 30. Hands if you got heads. Look at that. Roughly half of you. More on this side than this side, but overall, roughly half of you. Float again. Heads. Hands, heads. Almost the same distribution again. More on this side than that side, but again, roughly got the same. That's okay. The point is that Sean's claim is pretty valid, right? It's pretty valid because when you flip a coin, get it spinning, and then interrupt it during the spin, it should come out 50-50. I had a student challenge me. It might have been in your class, Chris, when I had you last. It may have been. Somebody said, oh no, it's not 50-50. I read a paper on it. And I said, oh, that's cool. So I Googled it. Is flipping a coin 50-50? Because I've heard this argument applied to genders as well. You know, there's actually more females than males, and there are, statistically, a teeny bit more females than males, but I never heard it applied to coins before. Read the paper, and what these scientists did, if I told you the story, I apologize if you heard this already. These two scientists designed a coin flipper, where they put the coin in the flipper exactly the same way each time, and then flip the coin using the flipper. So in other words, they're getting the exact same motion of the coin as much as they could. There's still butterfly effect stuff, right? There's still a random breeze that comes across the room. They didn't do it in a vacuum. No. No, they didn't. They did not. I guarantee they didn't do it in a vacuum. So that's one variable that wasn't allowed for, which would take out the breezes and things like that. They used the same coin. I believe they used the same coin anyway. They may have replicated on different coins to see if it helped. And they determined that when they did it that way, there was a slight bias towards one of the sides. And the student was like, you see? And I was like, did you read the last paragraph of that article? And they said, what? I said all the way to the end, when they said, but this is only when done with a flipper. When you actually use your hand out in the world to flip a coin, it's essentially 50-50 due to all the random variable effects. And they said, shit, I didn't read that part. So yes, 50-50. Yes, 50-50. Now, I want to test something different though. I want to test not flipping and catching and stopping. I want you to spin the coin on your desk and let it fall. Don't interrupt it. Here's the rules of the experiment. It has to get going so that it's spinning with the axes vertical. I want to let physics take over.
You want the heads to spin right or the heads to spin left?
That shouldn't matter because everybody's going to do it roughly randomly, so that shouldn't matter. Yeah, the kick is inertia. I need to get the coin spinning. So can I do an example real quick? Where's the bag of coins?
Here.
Are they around? Oh, thank you. So when you spin it, you can't just do this. That didn't get spinning fast enough. You need to get it going so that axis is established, so it's vertical and spinning. Because then gravity can work as friction builds up. Gravity can work and pull the coin down. Does that make sense? Do it 10 times, and only 10 times, and keep track of how many heads you get in those 10 spins. Cool?
Are you saying the head side weighs more than the tail?